A warm welcome to all of you. My name is Dea Rebaltescu. I am the founder of Sun Media Shine, the company that is behind this whole event and series. We started last year, and this is the second year that we're rolling. Right up here in this corner, you see the Mindset Bloom. That was the original concept. And this year transformed into the Art of Leadership. This is to give you a little bit of the background. To let you know who else is here, and then I'll tell you a little bit about it, I would like to have with me my team. And without the team, you can't do nothing. I mean, I'm sure you know, there's an old African saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So with that, I would like to invite Ada Dietrich to introduce herself to everyone real quick. And we're going to move on to the rest of the team. Anna, welcome. Ada, I'm sorry. Ada. I said Anna for some reason.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm here. I'm here. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. It's a celebratory day in Romania, so happy 1st of May for each and every one of you. I am Ada Dietrich, and I will be your host tonight in the Zoom chat. So feel free to share with us anything you want to say to us, to ask questions. We love some good questions, so I'll be sure to let our speakers know everything you share with us in the chat. Thank you, and let's enjoy this evening.
Thank you, Ada. Mwah. Joy to have you here. Gabriela, hello and welcome.
Hello, everybody. I'm happy to be here with you today. I'm Gabriela Gheorghe, and I see leadership as a way of life. That's why I take the mission to support managers to clarify their unique leadership identity so they can lead with purpose. And they can empower autonomous and responsible teams. And last but not least, to live a life that's aligned with their true selves. I'm happy to be here with you today in this special 1st of May, and enjoy the evening, and let's talk leadership.
Amen
Thank you.
to that. Thank you, Gabriela.
Amen to that.
Let's talk leadership.
Let's talk leadership.
Raluca Uța, hello. How are you,
Hello,
dear?
everyone. I'm okay, thank you. So I'm Raluca Uța. I'm the founder of Strategos Analytica. And today I'm going to look after the live Facebook chat and interact with everyone there.
Thank
I hope
you,
you
dear.
take a lot of useful information from this webinar.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, dear. In chat, you see that the team is already doing what they said they would do. Anna, Anna, I'm gonna have to call you Anna for some reason. Ada is dropping you links for you to know more and meet the entire team that's behind this whole year-long series. We're gonna have events every other month, all the way to December, and there's a lot for you to get out of this. With no further ado, before I bring the speakers up, I would like to tell you a little bit about today's event. Today, we're talking about purpose and integrity. And in the light of recent events, kind of to incorporate what's been happening at the global level, a great leader, in my opinion, a person that I admired from the beginning since he took this leadership position that is no longer with us, it's Pope Francis. And I would like to bring up a little bit about who he was and what he did in our purpose and leadership context. And I've been reading all kinds of articles. Everybody paid homage to this great man that, in my opinion, lived in purpose and in integrity with everything that he did throughout his years at the Vatican. And I stumbled upon a quote of his that kind of stuck with me. And it sounds like this: the shepherd must smell like his sheep. It took me a fraction of a second to kind of embody that. Yes, it maybe on the top of your head might take you straight to religion, but it doesn't have anything to do with the religion. It's just the context and the person they said it. But the shepherd must smell like his sheep. this is such a powerful analogy that struck me. What is my purpose as a leader? My purpose as a leader is not to sit afar and give orders and just look at the people that are in my leadership organization. My purpose is to be there with them, to get to know them, to get to understand them, to know their ins, their outs, their struggles, literally to smell like them, quotation marks, of course. And I just love this quote. So I'm starting this whole series with this quote: the shepherd must smell like his sheep. And I'm going to bring up Gabriel Istoc, our first speaker of the day. Gabriel, welcome, and thank you for being here today. Thank you for joining us.
Well, I can thank you. I would like to thank you very much because you invited me to speak here on such a nice event, and I dare to speak about something that it's very, very close to me as a, let's say, as a leader, or for almost all my life, and would be very, very great to. I would be very happy to talk to you and to learn from you what means leadership for everybody here. Thank you. Should I present myself now?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes.
So the floor is mine. Yeah.
Voice
Okay.
is yours.
Use my voice and use my ability to talk. And thank you very much. And I would not like to say happy 1st of May. I would like to say happy every day, because this is kind of purpose that can lead everybody to live a wonderful life. But because at the end of the day, the leadership is to get a very nice life for everybody around you. So I'm an entrepreneur. Basically, I'm a founder of several companies. I'm an angel investor. I'm a coach. I'm a mentor, and I'm a member of different advisory boards for entrepreneurial companies in Romania. And I'm working with entrepreneurs and with leaders since, I don't remember, 25 years. More, as I mentioned at the beginning, I am leader since I was 4 or 5 years old, being the leader of my classroom and classmates and so on, leader in sports, and whatever I did, I took a position of leadership in and working with different fellows on different purposes. Yeah. So I'm happy to be here. And I congratulate you for this kind line of events that you are doing, and I wish you good luck for all your purposes in with this. What is my aim to talk about here? It's related to different kind of perspectives in terms of purpose and leadership. Because you started with Pope Francis saying, I would like to say that what we have seen in Pope Francis as a leader, it was that the way he saw things, or the way he thought at the end of the day, it was the same through all his life. So his purpose was to serve the people, nothing less, nothing more, and to help the people to get in line, whatever they did, whatever kind of behavior they had, whatever kind of disease they had, or whatever they were thinking related to the policies, to the economics, and so on. So he was very open to welcome everybody, yeah, into a kind of into the world, being acceptable for everybody to be together. So he was serving the people, and this kind of purpose we find only in few leaders through all the history. And maybe Johann Paul II was exactly the same, and I would not mention others in the let's say, in the line of history, because in my opinion, purpose has different perspectives, as I mentioned. One perspective is whose purpose it is. In my position as a leader, it is my purpose, it is what I'm thinking, or it is something that I'm, let's say, a member of. And I say a member of in my position of leadership, because I would not say an employee or let's say, an entrepreneur. I'm a member of a community that is doing something. If I'm a business owner, I created a company and I want to make some money with this company, and I want to create something good for my customers with that company. But if I'm a leader in a company or in an organization where I have to do something else, not a business, then it's a different kind of purpose. So I would say that the leaders, I would not like to talk about leadership only in business or only in the organizations. I would like to talk about leadership in for teachers, for professors, in politics, and in many other areas of life, because everywhere we can we see and we need leaders. Yeah.
I love
So,
I'm sorry, Gabriel. I love the view that you're bringing. Where does integrity get mixed in this whole thing?
yes, thank you very much for this question. Integrity comes when what you do, it is aligned with your purpose.
Okay.
So this is my with your purpose as a person, or not necessarily in let's say, integrity in alignment with the purposes of the company or the organization you are in as a leader. Yeah.
Okay.
So because as I mentioned, from the perspective of purposes and integrity in different kind of leadership positions. In my opinion, even if you are alone at a certain point, influencing other people, you can be a leader without knowing it. Yeah, it is written by Robbie Sharma, a very nice book, Leader Without Function, without title. Yeah. So if we look from this perspective, you can lead in as a leader without even knowing it. But being nominated as a leader in a certain kind of position by a certain environment, then you have to act with integrity. And here as well, I see some perspectives, and I challenge everybody to advise what would be for them this kind of integrity. I'm thinking on something, on a certain. It's my purpose. If I am doing everything aligned with my purpose, am I leading with integrity or not? But if I'm looking to if my purpose it's not aligned with the purpose of the others, am I leading with integrity, or the others will look to me as I'm not an integral person, a leader?
Well, let's set the tone here a little bit. Let's try to define integrity. Let's try to define the word itself first. Like, what does it mean to live in your integrity? And then give it a spin on from the ethical perspective of it.
I would love to do it from the ethical, because in many areas of let's say, leadership in all over the world, the integrity is very much aligned with the ethics. I mean, if you are doing something ethical, but then you are leading with integrity. What I was saying before, it's that even if we look to the politics now, yeah,
Mhm.
and I would ask myself, is the actual president of the United States leading with integrity?
Who would give
Yeah.
you the answer?
I don't know. We just brainstorm here to have an answer. Yeah. But look to the other leaders. Compare it with Pope Francis, what you mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, a leader as there is now in the United States has a line of behavior that is aligned with the behaviors he had in the past. There
Mm-hmm.
is nothing changed. From this perspective, he's absolute in integrity. From the perspective in relationship with what happened in the society, in the economical area, yeah, and this it's a completely different story. So
Mm-hmm.
you, in my opinion, we have to look at the integrity as an let's say part of the authenticity.
Okay.
So we have integrity, we have ethics, and we should be authentic. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
authentic means a lot much more than only integrity. So that means you have to be yourself, whatever you have to do to lead the people, to get the people to follow you. Yeah, without lies, without telling them something that it's not proper, and without hiding them. Yeah.
I
Of
see.
course, if we are talking about the politics, you cannot tell everything because then it will be a chaos. Yeah.
Right. Well,
You
that's
have to hide something sometime. Yeah.
like these are called or at least in parenting, they're called white lies. I don't know how white or not white or off white they are.
Well, white means something that is clear. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind
So
of.
Uh, I believe that in both purpose and integrity, the leader must be clear. Firstly, him with himself. Yeah,
That's it. That's
yeah,
it. You have to be clear with who you are. What are your
exactly,
values that you're
exactly.
following so you can decide with integrity. And this falls on I'm even myself on my own journey. Before I knew myself and before I started to align myself with my values, everything was like a jumbo bumbo and like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do now? How am I doing it? Is this right? Is this wrong? Is it good? Is it bad? It was a constant questioning. Once I aligned myself with my set of values, then I could put myself in that position of authenticity and find my purpose, which is very, very, very important. And on this subject, Gabriel, I want to keep you here, but I want to bring Raluca Bucur to join us. She is joining us from Washington, D.C. And we're gonna dive a little bit on the purpose of a leader. Why? Why? Who in their right mind would like to do that? Hello, Raluca. Thank you so
Hi,
much for being
hello.
here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Raluca Bucur. I'm in Washington, D.C., calling in from Washington, D.C. And thank you, everyone, for being here on this day. We celebrate International Workers' Day, right? So happy International Workers' Day to everyone who celebrates it. Um, so thank you for inviting me and appreciate everything that Gabriel said before me. I A little bit about me. I am the founder of Transconcentric, which is a digital communications consultancy here in Washington, D.C., and of Chefine that I'm gonna talk about a little bit later. I am the communications director for Alianza, which also we're going to talk about a little bit later. And I am a little bit of more of a visual person. So I do have a presentation um, that I want to share. Give me just 1 minute,
Oh, take
okay?
your time. Take your time. In the meantime, Ada, I got it right. Ada is giving you all the links for Raluca right here.
Okay, there we go. So as you may or may not know, everybody, all the speakers on this call got kind of like a little vertical to talk about. And Gabriel spoke a little bit about integrity. And I was going to talk about purpose, and wanted to start right off with kind of like a definition, because if I learned one thing in my over 20 years living abroad as an immigrant, is that the same thing could very possibly mean different things to different people. And so this is what I mean when I talk about purpose, integrity, and leadership. So this is just my definition. It's not, don't take it as like, gospel or the textbook definition or anything like that. But to me, purpose is the why behind everything we do, and the thing that guides the journey. The integrity is the alignment of actions with core values, and leadership is what it means to me is guiding through authentic vision and consistent action. And from a visual standpoint, you'll see that, for purpose, I put a picture that represents kind of like aspiration, because your purpose should be, I believe, aspirational. And even though it might be a cliche, but saying, shoot for the stars and you might reach the moon. I think it very much applies in how you set your purpose and how you move in the direction that you set for yourself. And then the integrity I see like as a connector. So that's what the bridge that helps align your actions with the core values. And in terms of leadership, I don't know if you recognize this photo. This is a picture from the movie Forrest Gump, and it represents Forrest Gump when he is running. And what you don't see in this photo is that there's like a huge throng of people that are following behind him. And this is because when we were talking about and preparing for this session, I said that I don't necessarily see myself as a leader. I think that being a leader is something that you earn, and sure you can, but you can also, to Gabriel's previous kind of comment, and I totally agree with that. Maybe yes, you can be a leader even if you don't have a whole team of people that you manage underneath you, or that if you run a company of people. So this is the kind of leader that I currently see myself as. If I'm leading, it's not necessarily intentional, right? And so I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey. So I spent my many years, and before I talk about my journey, I'm going to tell you, I wanted to tell a little bit of a story, an anecdote from my days as in the corporate world in the United States, because I've been here. I grew up in Romania, in Transylvania, and that's why my company is called Transconcentric Digital, because I come from Transylvania. But I went to school here in the United States, and I worked for almost 15, 18 years in the corporate world here for various corporations. And I remember this one time I was working for this company called Johnson and Johnson, and we were in there in a brainstorming session where we were working on some brand marketing projects, and we were brainstorming of what could we do and to promote the brand, and how could we who could we partner with, what kind of celebrities should we could reach out to help represent the brand. And everybody was proposing different things, like, oh, let's talk to Beyonce, let's do this, let's do that. And somebody said, because Johnson Johnson is a health related company, and somebody said, well, why don't we look at sports, and we should probably reach out to Nadia Comaneci and try to do a partnership with her. And this was like a room of, I don't know, like 10, 15 people, and everybody around the table was like, yes, let's do it. Nadia, yeah. And somebody said, yeah, Nadia, she's our girl. And meaning, the girl of everybody in the room. And I looked at him and I was like, she's not your girl. She's our girl. She's Romanian. And looking back at that, I kind of like and this was like, almost 20 years ago. But I identified that as like one of the pivotal moments where I started identifying my purpose, because I believe that as immigrants, we each represent the place, whether we want it or not, we each represent the place where we came from, right? And so later on, when I started my own business, I decided that I was going to focus on and work with Romanian organizations, sort of in a way of giving back the experience that I gathered over the years here in the United States. And so that's how I started with Transconcentric. And then later on, one of my clients is Alianza, which is an organization that promotes relationships between Romania and the U.S. and started various projects, including Chefine. And with Alianza, Alianza is a little bit of a different organization from most of the Romanian American organizations or Romanian organizations in the US, in the sense that it was founded by former US ambassadors to Romania. And it's more of a top-down organization rather than a grassroots organization. And not to disparage, because I work with everybody. I work with every Romanian nonprofit that approached me here. I've been working with them, but for Alianza is kind of like a different concept, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that because it's more of a top-down approach. It does more of a top-down approach to managing policy and international relations and so on. And one of the things that we've been doing there, and I've been doing for them, is produce this series of conversations where we invite leaders from various backgrounds. This is one of the conversations a screenshot from one conversation that we did with Wesley Clark just recently. And we invite them to, if they have any connection to Romania, we invite them to talk about their experiences and various things that are happening at the time in the world. And these can be very impactful, not just because they bring in people with influential people, but also because they are very honest and direct, right? I mean, they are. We are one-on-one with these people. Actually, John is who's the interviewer, and so they are. A lot of times they're willing to open up and talk about a lot more than just what they would publicly say. So you find out a lot of the things that are happening in the background and the dynamics that are going on, and that kind of helps with decision making and driving. So that's a little bit about the work there. And then all that work and working with all the different Romanian organizations, and this is another, leads to another little anecdote of how we started Chefine. And it was because, despite the fact that I've been living here for so many years, first of all, I never thought that I would stay in the United States. I thought that I would come go to school and then go right back to Romania, but life happened. But I never stopped going home, because that's home. And every time I would go there, I would see something really cool. And it could be a product, it could be like a clothes that a fashion designer created, or jewelry, or shoes, or bags, or even even like if we're talking about food or interior design, you name it. And every time I would say, "Oh my God, this is so cool. Why doesn't everybody in the United States know about this? And how come nobody knows about it? And somebody should do something about it." And this went on for several years. And finally, I ended up saying, well, okay, so nobody's doing anything about it. So maybe I should do something about it. And it started with a little website where I was blogging about, called Trefine, where I was blogging about different designers or cool things that I've seen and that I liked. And now with Dea, who saw this and said, "Oh, this is really cool. I'd love to be a part of it." We started building it out and creating a website, a platform to present and promote Romanian design and Romanian designers and help change hearts and minds, so to speak, and help shape Romania's brand in the United States. Because the reality is that in the United States, they it's not that Romania has a positive or a negative image. Romania doesn't really have an image. People don't really know what to think about Romania when you talk to them about that. Maybe they'll know a little bit about Dracula. Maybe they'll know a little bit about Nadia, potentially, but not necessarily. But they're not going to know have an image about what that is or what it means. So we're hoping that with these small little projects that we can move the needle and change perception and create something good. Um, and so that's pretty much what it means to me, leading with purpose and integrity, having a core foundation, trust building, and sustainable long-term impact. And um, yeah, opening it up to discussion, to questions if anybody has any. But so I'm going to stop here, take a break, and let everybody, if someone else jump in and either ask questions or make comments.
Yes, please. Raluca, this was fantastic because what you gave us here was actually an example of purpose in leadership. Why do you do what you do? And you just showed us through your work exactly what you want. You told us how you're doing it also. So you gave us that part of integrity we were talking about earlier. You're thinking it, you're saying it, you're doing it. And all I can do is thank you for that. To me, it was amazing. It was just the hands-on application. So take notes, people. If you want to do this, if you want to find your purpose, find it. And it is amazing. If you have any questions for Raluca or for Gabriel or anything that we've talked so far, please drop it in the chat. And as the flow goes, Raluca, thank you very much. We're gonna get to the Q&A section as well. We've talked about integrity, we defined it. We talked about purpose, and we actually saw a person, which is Raluca, who told us exactly what it is and how she's doing to bring this purpose and to be carried by it. And it seems logical to go into an implementation phase and to see the power that brings to a leader. If you find your purpose and if you lead with integrity, what does that give you? The power that you feel behind it. And for this, I want to invite Crina right next to me over here. Crina Ancuta is joining us from London. Crina, thank you so much for being here. Kind of like, in American baseball, there is the saying, take us home. So Crina, take us to
No
home
pressure.
base. Take us to home base and give us some tools and some palpable things to kind of dive in, jump, and apply everything that we've heard here.
Oh, thank you, Andrea. Thank you for the invitation. And yeah, it's such a pleasure to be here. And let's see, no pressure about the tools and all the added value.
No, ma'am.
I'm Crina Ancuta. I'm joining from Richmond, London, where we have a phenomenal heat wave. And I am the founder and CEO of Rise to Leadership, whose mission is to elevate humanity in the workplace. And how are we going to do that? By empowering heartfelt leaders to bring their highest self in every interaction and build on that inner strength to bring their unique gifts, their genius, their wisdom, to leave a legacy they can be proud of. And it's so wonderful to see how Gabriel has done this in entrepreneurship, and how Raluca is such an amazing example when it comes to changing the image of a country. So we can lead having behind a title or a function, or we can really be the trendsetters, the disruptors, without any function, just influencing and making the world a better place. So what am I doing now? Nothing brings me more joy today than to support CEOs and their lead teams to navigate challenging transitions like restructurings, exponential growth, or difficult business turnarounds, and do that with humanity and integrity. And I'm doing that after testing a few other identities, but with a very clear red wire, trying to do the best for people, which is what I've tried in the 1990s in Bucharest as a young medical doctor. And then definitely having the same purpose as a leader in the pharma industry for 20 years, opportunity which led me to be the general manager for my company in Serbia, and then come to the UK headquarters, ending up creating the global commercial strategy for a portfolio of £500 million. So what did I learn, and what am I telling to my clients now? Is that who we are is how we lead. And it's very important to have this integrity. It's really important to understand also the impact we have around us. So I want to say that it is a privilege for me to be here on the 1st of May, because having you attending this session tells me a lot about the leaders I'm surrounded with. And I'm not speaking only about the incredible panelists or everybody who has put this event together, but I am speaking about everybody attending who kind of prioritized their growth, their leadership journey ahead of, very tempting maybe barbecues with friends. So you can take maybe the girl from the corporate, but you can't truly take the corporate life out of the girl. I will be sharing a few slides just to be sure that I am giving you in the next few minutes some really powerful tools you might use, or at least some resources which can inspire you in the future. So as I said, one of my esteemed influencers and thought leaders is Brené Brown. And this quote I'm sharing now is capturing the essence of my work as a coach, but also the essence in my life. Our identity as leaders starts with who we are, what we think, what we speak, and what we do. And at the same time, our words and our actions will have an impact on the culture of the organizations we are in, will determine the performance and will definitely shape the behaviors. So my invitation for everyone is, when we are going through a time we don't feel trust is there, we don't feel integrity is aligned with our purpose, to really go back and start transforming the only person we really have control over, and that is ourselves. And what would that mean? Well, let's assume you are a leader, and it can be a team, it can be an NGO, or maybe you want to lead your community or your family. I would say that in 2025, leadership is like taking a group of people to climb Mount Everest with not a lot of preparation. The uncertainty around us, the challenges, the changes, what we are looking forward to embrace when it comes to AI, when it comes to the political dynamics, are incredible. So how can we do this? Of course, we said we can align with our purpose. We can be in integrity with who we really are and what we want to bring to the table. We can select the right people around us. But one key ingredient I want to talk about is the trust, because you cannot succeed in something extraordinary, like influencing a business, an industry, a country, the world, or your family, which might sometimes be even more difficult, unless you trust and you inspire trust. So let's put it very simple. What it means, trust, in this context. The simplest thing, and I'm sure you might know this already, is just doing what you said, when you said, and with the quality you said, with the quality expected of you. As a leader, you can start asking the question about yourself. Can I be the role model? With this simple commitment, because if people can trust me, our dynamic, our connection, our drive to do something bigger than us will be exponentially increased. And because we are part of communities and we are leaders of companies or organizations, then this doing the best, or what you said, needs to be defined in a bigger context, because it's never about doing what is best for me. I need to have in mind to do what is best for the company I'm in. I'm part of that system. I was chosen to lead it. So that means destinies of people are in my hands. And yes, it's important to do that with authenticity. But I will challenge this concept, because for me, in some important values, being authentic means to be constantly expressing your best values. And at the same time, it means to evolve, to always try to come across and present and show up as your highest self. And this means sometimes that, let's say authentically, my personality is to talk a lot. Now, I need to have that emotional intelligence to understand where my team needs me to shut up and listen. And that is not the moment to show 100% authentic. It's really the ability of a leader to evolve and adapt so he can lead that team, that community to higher results, not forcing their style, but adapting to be the best leader for that context. So this is how I think we can achieve impressive results wherever we go. And if I would summarize it in just a simple phrase, that would be, you are building trust by being in integrity with yourself, your purpose, and the people around you at the same time, all the time, and adapting to be the best version of yourself every day. So I wanted to offer you a framework, and this is the right leadership framework we are using with executives who go through a crisis. Let's assume you really want to increase the trust in your team. What you need to start with is taking radical responsibility, looking at reality, and really understanding what is the risk if you don't face that reality, if you don't improve the trust in your team. Because trust is not a concept, not a nice to have. Trust is a key ingredient. It's that alignment which brings us together, which gives us the feeling that we can achieve more than as an individual. So I invite leaders to look in the mirror and think and ask themselves, am I the most trusted person in the company? And am I trusting others? And even more important, am I creating the premises for trust? And that might mean to create that psychological safety that your team feels encouraged and supported to share their problems and their most creative solutions. And also, are you ready to step up into really challenging people and having those difficult conversations and asking them to just do what they said when they said at the quality the bigger purpose, the company, the vision requires. So after you start with taking this full responsibility about yourself, the next step is really getting the right insights, being vulnerable enough to understand who is that leader your organization needs, how you can model better trust to be understood by everyone. What do the people around you need to be themselves, to be at their best? And that is when you can define that identity you need to show up to every single day. And as in climbing Mount Everest, there will be difficult times when truth comes to surface. And unless you live in full integrity with this identity of a role model in trust, you won't be able to fake it, and you will lose the minimum trust you have built. So after living in this identity and integrity is truly obvious, I would say, to start looking at synergies. We discuss sometimes about leaders and the loneliness at the top, and that is one aspect of the story, but the reality is that not even a single leader achieved something in isolation. So the next step is looking at the synergies, looking at who are your trusted partners, looking at who are your trusted advisors, who are the people you trust around you, and they can work as a catalyst to build that culture of trust, to hold people accountable, and to come always and perform at the standards you agreed. And it's strategic, but it's also very simple-minded and single-focused. Just step with one thing, align everybody around one action, and implement that. And well, I won't sugarcoat it, but for a leader, it's always about excellence. You will always have to deliver more and be the role model and go the extra mile. And that is something which it's not a burden. I would say it's a real gift. It's the trust, somehow life put in us with our qualities, and we need to rise to that level. So I won't keep you long. I will just conclude that authenticity means sometimes not really bringing the real you, irrespective how the real you looks like on that day. You might have a difficult start, or you might have some real problems at home. Yes, authenticity means sharing vulnerably where you are and stepping up to show as your best, showing up with courage, aligning yourself with the greatest good, and being a better version every day. So you can embrace what I've shared, but what I would really invite you to embrace is some amazing people I've been learning from. One is, of course, Brené Brown. She has a number of books. Her Brave framework for leadership, her podcast. Then Simon Sinek, who basically started the conversation about purpose and why it's important to start with why. He took it to the next level in the infinite game. And last but not least, if you really want to be a leader for this century and grow the leaders for the next century, then the 15 commitments of conscious leadership are the resource I would really invite you to try. So thank you once again for being here with us. And I'm really looking forward to your questions, to learning from you, and to keep this conversation alive, to connecting outside this moment.
Delicious, Crina. Delicious. I've soaked every little thing that you gave us, and it just brought such clarity for the whole discussion and just brought everything, like I said, home base. I know I'm referring to baseball. I'm not a fan of baseball, but I kind of understand I understand the concept and everything that you gave us here, which by the way, to let everybody know, you will receive in the follow-up email, you will receive these presentations, both Crina's and Raluca's. So rest assured you will get this information as well in your hand. Crina, thank you so much for the value that you brought and everything that you shared with us. It was amazing. And I'm looking forward to the people that are here to let us know how they found everything that you laid us on the table. And since we're going to them, I would like to invite everybody on screen because we're gonna talk to you guys, those that are here and they joined our event today. Please feel free to join us because I have something for you. I have a challenge, actually. I mean, nothing good as a good challenge. I love a good challenge myself. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. And here's what I would like to ask you. And Ada, now I'm very focused on the name. Ada is gonna assist us with this. We have a little, I'll call it a game. Why not? Life is a play field. Alan Watts said that, I think, a British philosopher that I enjoy and I enjoyed and I still enjoy. Life is a playground, so let's play a little bit with it. We have a little Menti for you that Ada's going to put it in the chat. And I'm going to invite you to answer a question because we want to hear you. We want to give you a voice. You're not here just to listen to us talk. No, no, thank you. We want to know what you feel and how you feel. And the question is, what challenges are you currently facing related to purpose and integrity in your leadership journey? I'm going to give you a few minutes to take your time and answer the question. And Nada's going to drop the link as well. I see the code, which is good. We want to know what you think. And the fun part is, whoever whoever feels brave enough that wants to come and join us right here on the stage and put their challenge on the table, our speakers that are here today will do their very best to assist, give you some tools, give you some advice, kind of help you how to get out of this impasse, navigate better through it. And we're seeing this happening live over here. Take a minute and join the Menti and answer the question that we have for you. In the meantime, I would like to invite Gabriela a little bit with me over here to open her mic because her role in this whole art of leadership is bigger than just this, and I would like her to tell us a little bit about it while you take your time to fill in the question.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the purpose of the workshops that we will follow up with this webinar. First of all, the purpose of the workshop is to deep dive into this topic about leading with purpose and what it means leading with purpose. And I would say that the first aim of the workshop will be to deepen on the self-awareness related. What's your purpose as a leader, and what's your purpose, how your purpose is aligned with the company purpose. And this is, as I see on the screen, it's also one of the challenges that I've seen very often in the groups that I work with. It's how do you manage when these two purposes are not aligned? So this will be one of the main topic that we will follow in this workshop. And also we will look a little bit about professional maturity as a leader. What does it mean, and what is recommending us to be a leader? So I would also emphasize that the workshops are not a training, are not like somebody is smarter than us and coming to tell us how and what to do, but it's about how we find ourselves in the roles that we are playing, and how we can live a life that it's aligned with our leadership identity and our purpose. So I love the question that I see on the screen, and if you want, we can go a little bit in what to do when the purpose is not aligned with the company's purpose.
We can definitely do that.
And I'm curious about what is the conflict in there. What is the real conflict in there?
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry to interrupt for 1 second. actually dropped the clickable link in the chat for everybody to access it. We realized that it wasn't clickable, so we apologize for that. It is clickable now. You can join it in and answer that question.
But still, we have a powerful question there.
We do have a powerful
I think
question.
is the biggest challenge that we can see. Actually, it's the more often challenge that I find in working with groups.
Yes, Raluca, please.
What I was going to say is that, I mean, this is obviously we're talking about work a lot, but I don't know that your purpose has to necessarily come from your job. You can absolutely have a purpose outside of a job. I mean, I think that it's a very lucky situation to have your job as your purpose, so to speak, or work for your ideal company. I mean, that's definitely the ideal situation. But I don't know that it necessarily has to come from your company or your work, right? I don't know. Like, does anybody else agree?
I don't know. Does anybody else agree?
Actually,
Well,
here I would bring another challenge. How do you find your purpose inside an organization? Doesn't matter what the purpose of the organization is. How do you find your true purpose, and how do you serve your true purpose as a leader within an organization? Because, when you are by yourself, doesn't matter if you are an entrepreneur or something like this, I find it easier to follow your purpose, because the choice it's more simpler. But fortunately, I would say some of us have to work in an organization, and actually we need these kind of organizations in the world. And my challenge it would be here is that how you find and how you serve your purpose, your personal purpose within an organization.
I love this challenge, Gabriela, because I have seen so many clients and sometimes friends really struggling with, oh my God, but I don't find my purpose, or I don't feel like I'm on purpose, and yes, this is a very important conversation and sometimes starts later in life, but it's not the time that matters. I think what is important is for us to be aware of the perspective we have in that moment in time, let's say linked to our work. Because you can go and have a job just because that job will pay the bills, and that is fine. Now, if you see yourself as a leader, in your DNA is this need to contribute and add value and have an impact. And then your question can be answered easily. Can I change my perspective and start looking at what I don't like here and start trying to see what could I add? Where is my skill, my uniqueness needed? And I think there is a different conversation when your personal values are in massive contrast with the company values. But let's say if there is no big misalignment, then sometimes we kind of miss the big picture just because we focus on some things we don't like. And with a change of angle, I truly believe that you can find joy in a lot of workplaces. And at the same time, because life is not an 1 + 1 = 2, if you really don't feel well and welcome there, you only have one life. You just need to see and start looking for the place where you will thrive.
I think that's very well said. And I was going to say something similar because the first thing that popped into my mind, Crina, was that, oh, well, if your values don't align with your company's values or purpose, leave. But that's easier said than done, right? And what they say is that you have to like to be okay with 2 out of 3 things: your actual job, your colleagues, and your boss, right? And so so the decision to leave is made a little bit like more from a more complex standpoint than just the purpose of the company. And I think that I really do sympathize with that situation because I have been in that situation. I have worked for companies that that just wildly did not and align with my values and my beliefs and were promoting things, and I was very, very unhappy. Like that was probably like the worst one of the one of the most unhappy job tenures that I've had. And yes, I ended up having to leave. And it was more than just that one thing, but absolutely. But I think that it's in a case like this, it's also a matter of degrees, you know. What does it mean that the company doesn't align with your values or your purpose? Is it you have to know what you don't want better than what you actually do want in this case, and what is that um, deal breaker for you, exactly, and for your core, for your beliefs, for your kind of psyche, psychology, and situation. Where is that breaking point? And I think that if you are kind of aware of it, I think that the decision of what the next step, what the next step it might be is easier to make.
I like this with the deal breaker, like when enough is enough. How
Right.
long am I going to put up with this? Because who's suffering here? Me. And something that the American way of life taught me, at least in the corporate world, I am disposable. I leave today, within the next 5 minutes, I'm replaceable. Somebody will take my spot. I like this perspective.
Yo, may I
Yes,
add
please.
something?
Yes, please, please.
Also,
Big-
okay, yeah, please, Gabriel, you are the guest,
Sorry,
please.
Gabriela. I'm coming from the perspectives of the one that sets the purpose of the company, because I'm the entrepreneur. I am the owner of the company, or let's say together with the other partners, and I'm looking what are the deal breakers for the people that are around me. Well, why should it be a deal breaker at the end of the day? So I completely, let's say, I'm not looking to the deal breaker, because that means rupture, in my opinion. That means the people that are working with me, under me, and following me, they are unhappy in a certain degree. Why should I look at this? I'm looking to the fact from the beginning to create an environment where they should be, at least, to have a kind of happiness that will bring them joy in life. If I'm not doing it, and if they don't feel correct, and it happened in one of my companies, well, then we agree together that we do not fit together in this life, because he will not, or she will not be happy, I will not be happy, and at the end of the company, the results of the company will be shown up. So in my view, from my perspective of leadership, somebody that is in a position and have such a, let's say, a team where he should not find or wait to that the person that are under him to find the deal breaker. No, he should look to them, and then to find a way to them with working together in such a way that they will be happy. Let's say, I will not define now happiness as everybody is joyful going to the bar, but at least to wake up in the morning, and not to say, well, it's another working day. Oh, I do not want to say shit. Well,
Oh, well.
let's go. Let's go to work. It's not. I never waked up like this in my life, and I would not like that my people would wake up in the morning and say, well, it's another working day, and I have a lot to do. This is not a way, and it's better to let's say, to split, or let's say, to find ways to where the people would be happy. So I'm coming from the other perspective, and I'm sorry that we go to the leadership in companies, but I truly believe that we have a lot of leaders, unseen leaders. If we are talking about teachers, if we are talking in Repatriot, we are talking in Romanian business leaders. You know, Raluca, in our project started 10 years ago, where we wanted at least to bring Romania more close to the diaspora, to show that here there are a lot of good things happening, a lot of businesses, a lot of change. Yeah, and well, this is my point of view in this. And one more I would like to add: a leader has to be aware about the constant change in the complete environment, economic environment, social environment, and all the environments in his life. So if he is not aware, then he is not a leader. We are talking about leaders in companies, or maybe in politics, or in bigger organizations. And then he should make them, the people around him, aware about it as well, about the constant change. We should. Otherwise, the people will think that is a status quo. Yeah, I'm working, I'm going, I'm getting a loan, I am getting paid, and I'm getting home, I'm getting my kids to the school and whatsoever. But it's a constant change, and this brings changes. I do not like the American way. I'm sorry, you are disposal in 5 minutes. I'm sorry, I'm not wired like this. Yeah, because I always doing my best that the people would because being somebody disposable, yeah, it's that means I will make him unhappy. I don't like to make the people unhappy.
But you know that what they say the difference is between workers in the United States and those in Europe. Those in Europe work to live, and those in the United States live to work.
Yeah,
So
well, could be. And now I see Maria here. Wow, but it showed there Andrea
I
Rebeltescu. Wow.
know, and I don't understand why the link shows my name on it. Almost a lot of people that joined here today, and I'm confused about it. But hey, Maria, thank you. I knew
I,
you're going to be here today.
I was here from the beginning. I 10 minutes late into the picture, but I admire everything what you guys are doing. And Gabi, you made a point, and I think we missed the fact that when you get to be a leader, you need to be strong enough to be conscient of everything what is going on to do what you started to do because you felt that way. Nobody put you in the position of being a leader. It's something what comes in your own in your path, and you embrace it and you do it. And if you challenge yourself, then you are not a leader. Then it's very true. People surrounding us with, they have to believe in you. They have to have your back to say, but they have to believe in your vision and be there for you. If they're not, then they can go. And that makes us a little bit stronger in the moment when we became leaders. And when you look back, you don't even know most of the time why you started. It just happened. You had the strengths, you build up something, you believed in it, and you are successful. And the sadness, what I see, it's in the younger generation. They want to be leaders. They wish to be leaders, but they don't have the strengths to put themselves together and do something concrete. Or when they do, they are challenging themselves. They are insecure a little bit up until they launch themselves, and then you cannot catch their wings anymore.
They are young, of course. They are a little bit dizzy in the beginning. No, I would like to bring. Thank you, Maria, so much for your perspective. Also, I would like to come again a little bit. I love the point that Dea brought on the table about being disposable. And come on, let's face it. We are all disposable. There is nobody that is not disposable. So it is a matter of a little bit of humbleness to be aware that no, it's not about low value or something like this. But yes, we are disposable. And as a leader, I would say that it might be a purpose itself to be truly disposable. Because when the leader, it's not mandatory to be there, only then the team is autonomous. Only then the team is responsible, when they are able to function and to function well without a leader being present. So from my perspective, being a leader, the first purpose of a leader within an organization is to be truly disposable. Because only then you are mastering the leadership. Because people that are following you are able to do the job without you being there to push them, to pull them, to motivate them, to empower them, because they are strong enough to be a leader themselves. So yes, I would say that this is the purpose of true leadership. I'll
add something to your line. In the larger corporation, in the big businesses, and we have examples from all present at the table or what we know about and we are in, we manage, unfortunately, time forces us not to be all the time present, and we don't want to be present. And that proves that our leadership lasted long enough based on that fact that when we detach, the businesses are rising, they exist, and they keep going. In one day we die and the businesses are still going. It doesn't mean, it's exactly what you said. But to be the fact to be a leader, it doesn't mean that you have we detached, but it's something what it's in you to be able to have the strengths to be fair, to be strong, to be transparent, to be correct, to have a vision, to keep doing what you start to do, and have the power to finalize everything under your legacy.
I love that.
Yeah, this is the true legacy of leadership, to be disposable.
I love
And
it.
we are.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Oh my God, this was such an amazing discussion and it grew up so beautifully. I would like to see what Ada has. Ada, do you have any answers for us? So let's see if we can address another one. And maybe that person that put the question would like to join us and ask it herself or himself. So I would like to see if you can raise your hand. There's a little button on your Zoom that allows you to raise your hand. If you would like to join us right here, and let's discuss what challenge you have, and let's see how we can help. How we can help you overcome it. How we can, what can we do? What can we do? I'm not sure who the people are that ask these questions. That's why I'm asking to see who would like to come up on the stage. If not, we will just pick one from here and discuss it like we just did with the first one. So I'll give you 1 minute. Attila.
I can't find the Hi everyone. I can't find the button to raise my hand, so I just unmuted my microphone.
No, that's amazing. We would like to see you as well.
Oh yeah.
And, I'm gonna ask Ada to close the share screen so we can see everybody and see Attila. And while there he is, I just want to tell you a little bit something about Attila. Attila is at our second event. He was at the first one that we had 2 months ago, and today is here again. And I want to thank him for being consistent with this, because this is also about consistency. Leadership is also being consistent in your journey and in your learning. And I am happy to see you. Truly, truly happy to see you. Let's hear it.
Hi. Well, thanks. Do I need to tell something about myself or just jump straight in?
No, please do. I would like for us to know you a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm also from Transylvania, Romania. I forgot to mention that earlier. And I've been living in the US for more than 20 years, and I work at a big healthcare organization, and I'm a senior research scientist for the Research Institute. And the way I look at my career path, the next logical step would be to transition into leadership and take on more administrative roles than bench science work. So kind of grew towards this aspect because this is a corporate world. I come from the academic research background, but I had no training about being a leader whatsoever. So I'm trying to learn as I go, and that hence I'm here. I'm being consistent in your seminar series, which I appreciate, by the way. Thank you for putting this together. And listening to all this interesting information today, I actually walk away with more questions than answers, but that's good because it gets me thinking, I guess, right? So listening to these terms of purpose, integrity, authenticity, and trust, and so forth, they all make sense. But when I try to actually think about those in a concrete situation, it becomes a lot more nuanced and much more conflictual. And that's my question there. How do I reconcile the discrepancy between being and staying true to who I am and following my set of core values does not always align with some of the people that I'm supposed to lead or their set of values. And this is also due to cultural differences sometimes, coming from a very different background. So this has been one of my many challenges that I'm trying to be who they need me to be even though sometimes it doesn't fully align with what I believe I should do.
Love it. Who would like to jump in first?
I keep thinking about the saying that lead, follow, or get out of the way. You know, I don't know that everybody really like neatly aligns into one of those categories. But obviously every case is different, and I appreciate what Gabriel said earlier about seeing it from the leader's perspective, not just necessarily of the employee's perspective, the follower's perspective. But at the end of the day, it's really as simple as that. You know, you have to lead, you have to follow, or you have to get out of the way. Otherwise, the conflict is not really solvable, I don't think.
Okay.
Oh, and I recommend that you watch this. I don't know if it's available everywhere, but I started watching this HBO documentary called "Breaking the Bird." It's about Twitter, and literally all the whole story is about people who ended up in positions of people who had no interest or were not qualified to be in positions of leadership, ended up in positions of tremendous leadership and responsibility, and how that played out for us all, including our democracy. So,
Breaking the Bird. Thank you.
Breaking the Bird, yeah, on HBO.
Okay. All right. Gabriela,
Can I go
are you
next?
ready? Oh, can I let Carmen? Can we let Carmen?
Yes, please, of course.
Yeah, so my question was, thank you. My question was because returning in Romania in a few months, my problem, I think, will be, so I already started to discuss in that foundation how we work, and basically will be also training and different projects to develop. But my dilemma is some of the people, I worked before with them, but unfortunately they didn't change at all. So a lot of us today, we are working in different countries, and you're kind of forced to progress and learn and accept so many things and inclusion and everything. But in Romania, my question basically was how much manager I need to be and how much leader I need to be. Because a lot of people are still waiting, or you have to tell me what to do.
I love it's a good question, Carmen. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna ask Gabriela to still answer Attila's question. And as soon as we're done with his question, then we'll address yours. But I did write it down. How much manager do I have to be and how much leader do I have to be?
Yeah, I mean, what kind of percentage will be the best? Because you have to adapt what you have to adapt. Some of the companies, maybe they are researchers and all physicians or whatever, and the level is quite high, but other people are just simple accountants or just a social worker or something, and they are waiting somebody to tell them what is next step, what they need to do next.
Love the question.
So
very
Carmen.
I don't know which one to start.
No, let's go back to Attila. Yes, please.
I would go back to Attila.
And I want to ask him back, actually. I want to ask him back with us because he left.
Yeah, Attila, you are still with us?
Yes, he's here. He's here.
So as I record, I hope I'm correct. Your conflict is between what your team needs from you and what do you think that you should offer them. I think Attila, yeah, okay. And now I see.
That is correct, yes.
But my challenge here it's like this. How do you know what to offer to them? Because you think to offer something, but how do you know what to offer to them?
Good point, I assume.
Because we're assuming, and this is another nice point about assuming. And also, what do they need? I would guess that it's also an assumption. Because, we are not leaders if nobody is following us. So for whom we are leaders? For what we think or for what they need? And of course, there is always a middle way here. There is no such thing like black and white. But I would challenge what is behind this conflict. It might be simple principles of life, it might be simple beliefs, or it might be a conflict of values. And I would say that the breaking point is when there is a conflict of values. Because this is something that nobody can live with conflict of values. So yes, there is a vast discussion about this, but I would challenge this. How do you know for sure what they need, and how do you know what to offer? Because there is no leader without followers. And of course,
Gabriela,
we can go deeper into discussion. And with your permission, I will send you an email next week. Maybe we can go deeper a little bit in this discussion if you are available too.
Yes,
may I
absolutely.
add,
I appreciate it.
may I add just
you.
one thing
Please, Crina.
to what you said? Because I understood that there was also a conversation about a conflict of values between your values and maybe some team members' values. Was that right?
Not in a professional sense, more of a personal cultural sense.
Okay.
Because we're all highly trained professionals and very competitive in this environment. So our ethical and integrity is driven by those boundaries. So it's more on a personal level sometimes that these don't align.
And that's the fact that you are aware of this is the sign that you are a leader who is not interested in forcing his own values. Where I see the middle ground is, as you already found the answer, I think, the middle ground is the company values. We might have different behaviors. We might have different ways of working. And how I see a modern leader, but that is just my personal view, is to have the capacity to fine-tune and go beyond the differences of communication or style. You can find some useful books about company cultures, about different countries' culture, and it's so enlightening to see, oh my God, that's why we can't get along together, because this person will always behave like this. So let me adapt a bit, let me fine-tune that connection. But if it is about values, it's always easy to find the common ground, I think. So my question for you is, what is the common ground where both you and your team members can meet, and there is no, yes, but I want this, and there is always in a company a common ground?
Very insightful.
Yeah, thanks for that perspective. And I think the common ground is actually the actual research product that we try to develop. So in that sense,
you have a common purpose. So you have a common
Exactly.
purpose.
Yeah.
And then if the company has certain values, like, I don't know, integrity or honesty or trust or courage, then you can always bring everyone like with the most like generous approach as a leader. How can we be more aligned with this company value? Because it's not my value, it's not your value. We are here for a bigger purpose, and we are here to achieve that purpose within a framework of values.
I agree with that, and I don't question that, but that seems almost too mechanical. It takes the human aspect out of it. If you only align with company values and norms and regulations, which nobody questions, but we're all people at the end of the day, and whether we want it or not, we bring ourselves into the equation. And I think that's the hardest part for me to manage. Yeah. So what I've learned through my short leadership journey here is that the most difficult word is working with people.
Yeah, but
Everybody
it's so
loves Chris at a
rewarding.
certain
Come
point.
on. It's so rewarding in the same time.
This is awesome. Attila, thank you very much for this. It's just
Attila,
amazing.
only one advice from my side. Just be yourself, and then move on. You have a product, you are yourself, you are nominated there, and just be yourself at the beginning, because I do not know, you are talking about intercultural values and different kind of that means you are working on different with different people from different cultures, which might be a challenge for you if you are not trained to do this kind of let's say alignment of the team for the scope of which was created. And this might take a while, but you will notice that being yourself will be the best way at the beginning. Then you have to settle down with the team.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of finding, that there is a science in how to interact with people. Just bringing in common sense, it's not enough. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yes,
We
indeed.
all agree on this one. Common sense,
Common sense.
not enough. Attila, thank you so much for the question. Thank you so much for the challenge that you gave us. And I hope that we were able to kind of shed a little bit of light. And I love the fact that you're leaving with more questions than answers, because always finding your way in this, it will give you more satisfying than someone just telling you, hey, do this. Well, it worked for me, but maybe it won't work for you like it did for me. But we're here for you. And like Gabriela said, I would right now at this point, you are like the VIP person. I hope we'll see you throughout the year until the end of the year, and you'll be with us until the end. And reach out with questions. Don't be shy.
Yeah, I intend to participate. So thank you for having me.
My pleasure and our pleasure. Thank you, Attila. Carmen, we're getting to your question, and this is going to be the last question we're going to take for today. Ada kindly ask your permission to stay overtime, and we appreciate to those that are still here with us. Carmen, your question is related to strictly one country, which is Romania. How much percentage manager, how much percentage leadership or leader in the context that you're going to be going to? Correct? We're on the same page. Who would like to jump in first? Gabriel.
I will. Yeah.
Okay, Gabi, please.
Gabriela.
Gabriel.
No, Gabriel, you are the guest.
in Romania.
You are in Romania. Yes, you're right there.
Yeah, Gabriel, please. You are our guest, so the floor is yours.
It's not because I'm your guest. It's just because I really needed to go a couple of minutes ago, but I was staying especially for your guests here and for you, and I'm very happy about it. Carmen, you are, as I understood, you are coming in Romania from UK or from US? From UK. Yeah. Okay. Well, you are going to Deva, which is in the countryside. So I'm working with a lot of companies in the countryside. So if you would like my advice, I would say that you should go and observe what is going on inside of the actual foundation when it is when you reach to stay all the time here, yeah, into the how it is going, and then to observe the kind of lines that you need to you don't need to push and to be a leader, and then the kind of lines when you need to push and to be a manager. Actually, you have to define yourself why you are coming here. You are coming most probably to obtain or to have some projects, to have some results with these projects. Actually, you are looking to the results of these projects. Yeah. So being inside of Romania, yes, you are fully true. 80% of Romanians, I would say, they are waiting, especially in the lower skills level, they are waiting to be managed. And you have to manage because they need management. They don't need leaders. One day you are working longer time with them, and then they will follow you, and then you give them something, and then you go above management, let's say, style, then they will start to lead you. It's a different perspective. So I would not say a percentage, but you have to, or let's say, if I would be you, I would go and I would say, these are the projects that I want to realize, and these are the foundations. This is a foundation that will do X, Y, Z, T, whatever it is to be done with this foundation. And this is my aim for it. I mean, to express very clearly your vision to the people, especially to the most important people in this foundation. And then afterwards, I would see who follows me, and I don't need to tell them what to do every day, every minute. And then I would say, okay, these people are to be managed. Either I manage them or I set up a manager that is following me and manages them. So this would be the start that I would do. Thank you very much, and I will be happy to see you in Romania doing different projects. We are here. Don't hesitate to connect.
Teaching will be, maybe teaching, but will be probably parts of some other projects.
Yeah, don't hesitate to connect to Repatriot, his project, and to follow Repatriot project and Romanian business leaders. We are, as Romanian business leaders, a foundation. Yeah, that is doing
I recently joined that. So
okay,
I will.
Great.
Thank you.
Great.
Amazing.
Great. Thank you.
Gabriel, thank you for being
Thank you.
here. I know you have to go. Keep close.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I thank you, and
Gabi.
I'm sorry that I have to leave. Yeah. Otherwise, I would be killed by my wife, and you. Those that you know
want
me,
to have you here, Gabi, please.
after 40 years, it's hard to say no.
Today.
Thank you, Gabriel.
Thank you, Gabi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Right. So I would like also to ask to Carmen. So Carmen, this is situational leadership. There is no recipe for this. The recipe is like this: treat them equal, but not the same. And this is available, I would say, in every country, in every organization, in every team, because every member of the team have special needs. Depends on their personal style, on their competencies, on their level of autonomy, on their level of initiative, and so on. So this is truly means to be a leader, to know what each member of your team needs and to be there to serve and support them. This is situational leadership. And it's available, doesn't matter where in the organization is the team, doesn't matter the country, doesn't matter I wouldn't say that 80% of Romanian wanted to be told what to do. I don't think in this percentage. I don't believe in it. I would say that it's outrageous that 80% of the people are waiting for them to tell them what to do. But give them, empower them.
I'm not sure if you've been here when I mentioned a few things about me. So here in London, I'm teaching mental first aid at work. Yeah, a part of other first aid courses. And it's a different concept. The cultural background is very important. And I can see if I join a group, how they will answer to my question or my problem. I want to raise this problem, and then I'll see the feedback. I'm sorry to say, but for the moment, I'm thinking I will be a little bit lost. Will be a very long transition for me. I am a very flexible person, but I want the other people to be flexible. And unfortunately, they're not very flexible.
No,
in
find the right person. No, find the right person. Find the right person to split with.
So I will have to
you, but no, we cannot put labels on the people. Come on.
Oh no, absolutely.
Come on. It's not a cultural thing. Leadership is not a cultural thing. It's a personal thing. It's a way of life.
Yeah, probably.
So find the right person. Find the right person and the right purpose.
But I change, and I think they didn't change, so I have to adapt.
For sure, of course, you have to adapt.
Yeah.
I think this is very insightful, Carmen, and please tell us if you got anything out of this. Is anything helping? Did we answer your question?
Oh, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Good. Yeah. So yeah, starting with so the word I'm taking with me was one word you told. You said it, consistency.
Okay.
So it's important, the integrity is important, the trust is important, respect and everything you build as a leader. The purpose of the activity or the company or whatever. But if you're not doing at the same level, and in one way, like Gabriela said, treat them equally, but not the same. Yeah, so I will try to see what kind of boundaries I can push away, because they are seeing me coming back. Oh, she's coming back, but now she's sometimes in some of the small companies, because it's a small one, but there are still around 10 people there. Once you're coming from a different country back, they're thinking, oh, now she's thinking she's too, I don't know, different comparing with us because she worked in London.
Here's another
So,
thing, Carmen, I'm sorry to interrupt. We're scrunching for time right now, but here's another thing that you will have to deal with as a leader is mindset. You have a mindset built and you constructed it in London, and you're going to be dealing with the mindset that it is in Deva. So that's another thing, and also calls the adaptability, to adapt to the situation, to adapt to the person. So I do appreciate your questions. I hope that we answered the answers we gave you, and we tried to give you some value and maybe a little hook
lovely
over there,
meeting.
just to hang yourself on it and be like, okay, at least I have a start. You're not completely blind.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for being here. And I want to thank everybody who's watching on live Facebook, which we've had over 500 people coming and going through this live streaming. Those of you that are still here with us, you are angels. Thank you so very, very much. I would like to ask Ada to drop a link for you to sign up to the other webinars that we have that are coming up in the following months. So keep close, because we have a lot more speakers and amazing people, amazing leaders that are going to be sharing your value on different topics of the whole leadership, because it's such a big topic to discuss. And before we leave, I would like to invite the speakers that are still here, which is Crina, and I would like to leave us with something, a little closing remarks. What is something that you want to leave us with, and those that have been here this time and the ones that are still watching on Facebook?
I will go back to this responsibility we have as leaders and link it with maybe Carmen's question. If we can give somebody a gift, that is the gift of clarity. Really sharing with our teams specific goals we have, behaviors we appreciate, where we need their help, and giving that space of safety so they are open to tell us what they need. Is this mix of clarity and heart, like reminding everyone that we are human, we are there to help, and we can achieve something only together. I would remember another quote of Brené Brown: can we lead with an open heart and a strong back? The strong back means we need performance. The open heart means, let me explain you exactly what I need, where we need to go, and give you a chance. No assumptions, just observing and being ready to help people.
Thank you very much, Crina. It was a joy to have you with us. Gabriela, I would like to invite you to give us something to take away.
I would close very short, and I would say like this, like Jackson Brown said it, actually. He said, opportunity dances with those already on the dance floor. So I would say that go out there, find yourself a true purpose, and be on the dance floor, but be there with your team as a leader. And on the way, don't forget to prepare yourself to be the leader that you know you can be.
Love it.
Thank you. Looking forward for our next workshop to talk exactly about leading with purpose and integrity, and to find ourselves as a leader, to find our true purpose and meaning.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gabriela. We do have a workshop at the end of this month. It's going to be on the 29th, and you will get a follow-up email with all the details. Ada put the drop link over here. And for you that are here today and were here today, even if you're no longer with us, because I know we went way over time, so thank you. There is a code that you can use to join that workshop, and I'm going to ask Ada to put it right here. It's a promotion code that you can use. Again, you're going to get it in the email as well, alongside with the presentations from the two speakers, Crina and Raluca. And with all my thanks and all my love and all my appreciations for all of you here, thank you. Enjoy the rest of 1st of May, wherever you are. If it's night, if it's day, I don't know. Here it's just mid-noon. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so I have the rest of the day to do something. Have a lovely afternoon. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.